You might want to get a change of underwear. See you soon.
Thank you very much, Jared, for the interesting introduction. How are you doing, Grubby? I had to go back to that.
Kalaros always asks me at the start of a cast, how are you doing, Grubby? And actually, now I think it's an appropriate question. I'm doing very well, thanks.
Are you happy about advancing through to the group stage?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm very happy.
Yes.
Were you happy casting me? No?
No, a little bit.
Oh.
That last game, man. Pretty tense. Pretty tense.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. So, it's nice to have you back, man. We are going to be jumping into MC versus ForGG.
Oh.
And this is going to be pretty darn cool. Both of these players, big hard hitters of the Korean scene here. And, well, I don't know. I mean, how are you liking the chances of either of these players? Who do you think's really going to be able to power it out?
Well, so I'm very excited that I was asked by IEM to cast this match in particular.
Yeah?
Because ForGG is so good, and I love playing against him so much. I have a bit of a history with him. Not a history like we both beat each other so much, no. I started practicing with him when I was in Korea. And he just switched over from Brood War, but they said he's already very good. And actually, he has 5 accounts in the top 100 Grandmaster.
That's impressive.
And I was like, okay, and he only switched a few months ago? That's pretty good. And he was doing things which were so special that no one else was doing yet. Which now, okay, more people are doing it, but you know, he was ahead of his time. He's really good. There we see him. Pretty handsome. For Korean standards and even international ones. Good-looking chap. In any event, he's very good Terran player. And he's very fast, he has very good macro, and he's very aggressive. Now, he's going up against no slouch either, of course.
No, indeed.
MC.
MC's a pretty good guy.
He is so up and down with his PvT, MC.
Yeah?
Yeah, he has these waves of malady where he loses Terran after Terran. And then he has this Red Bull gaming run where he beats Bomber and all the other Terrans. And every time the same opening, and just impeccable micro. He's very merciless. I mean, if there's any word to describe MC, I would say merciless. And the letters MC are also in the word merciless. I don't think that's a coincidence.
No. Very well deduced there, good Sir Grubby, as you have figured out the code of MC.
Yeah.
As there he is with his lovely... I like that headset, actually. It's quite glowy and pretty cool.
Oh,
like
good.
Yeah,
very
looking good on him. But MC, again, he's a pretty strong player. Let's not beat around the bush here. And you were right, though. If there's ever a matchup where he looks a little bit to fluctuate, it is the PvT.
And PvP.
And PvP.
He can be very good at both, but he can also, let's say,
Just
he's mortal. He can also lose.
Yes. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into this series between Millennium's ForGG and SKMC, as we do have MC spawning down in the bottom right-hand corner here as our red Protoss. And up to the top left-hand corner, we have Millennium's ForGG.
Yeah. Yep. So, I think it's definitely going to be a 2-1, either way.
Yeah.
Of course, we might be wrong. Now, I just jumped on the casting couch here with you, because I'm a player this tournament. Can you tell me what match this is here in the open bracket?
This is, I believe, the final of the upper bracket final between MC and ForGG.
The upper bracket final.
The winner will go on to qualify for one of those group spots.
Very important match.
Yes, very. Although, that being said, the loser does get that second chance in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
So they have to play another series if they end up losing. But it's, it's
so the story for these guys is, among their next 2 matches, they have to win one of them.
Yeah, pretty much. As for now, we will have him being able to just... It looks like, actually, he's going to go for... yeah, there you go. The gateway on the way there. And from there on, he's going to be fine and dandy.
Yep, and for ForGG, we see a barracks on the way, 12 barracks. Barracks on 12 supply. We see the 13 gateway from MC, so no surprises there at all. MC is going to scout, and he will get information. Now, recently when I've been playing ForGG on the ladder, once your probe gets in, he will try to lock it in and kill that probe.
Yeah.
Right?
And he will be able to get in there to be able to have a little bit of a look around. So no gases down just yet for ForGG, so he's going to know that this is pretty much a 1-Rax expand here, which is pretty common from the likes of ForGG. The one thing that I have a bit of a question to ask you, though, about ForGG is the fact that whenever I watch ForGG stream, there's always so much aggression on every single game.
Yeah.
Now, is this because he's wanting to hide tactics, like, and just, streaming and, just practicing?
So you mean there's like 1-1-1, two
Yeah,
barracks?
yeah.
Well, it's part of his bag of tricks. ForGG has really good macro, but he can also do really good all-ins.
Yeah.
And I think it's in order to train both, you need to practice both.
Yeah.
And then you will be good at both. But I do think, indeed, when you are streaming, you know that people are watching. When you keep doing an all-in, they don't get as much information about your various reactions to what your opponent might be throwing at them. So maybe he is seeding some deception when he's streaming. But then again, maybe he isn't, because he streams so much, he can't afford not to train seriously during his stream.
Yeah.
So I think what you're seeing is, at least for a large part, the real ForGG.
Okay. So there's the potential that kind of style could come out here, as opposed to some kind of big macro game.
Maybe in game 2 or 3.
Maybe. As I think for a best of 3, game 1 is a good basis to start, testing the waters against your opponent. Obviously, they've played against each other many a time. But in a tournament like this, where both people are coming off, quite a big travel, a little bit of, they've gone through several series already today. How is MC really going to approach this game on Ohana?
Well, as usual, your judgment of how they should think about the game is quite on target, Galaris, because when you start the first game, there are many players who believe in the philosophy that you should start out with something kind of versatile. You want to test the waters. You want to see how your opponent is playing. Starting off in the first game with something very risky is not something you usually see. So both of them are playing really quite standard, going for expansions and no early crazy all-ins or rushes. And this will give them a good idea of how skillful the opponent is at this point in time. And then they will know, am I good enough to beat him in a straight-up game? Or should I go for a gamble?
Shall see indeed, as I see MC is now going to throw down those 2 extra gateways just to get things macroed and going along here. And meanwhile, just getting all the sentries to be able to ward himself against, little kind of marine pokes here and there. And again, Ohana, a bit of a shorter rush distance in comparison to the other maps here. So there's always the potential of that kind of play coming out. Especially from the likes of ForGG.
Yeah, true. Now, if we take a look at ForGG's vision, we see that he has actually seen nothing yet. So MC knows that an SCV never came in yet. And therefore, MC delayed his second and third gateway a lot, which allows him to keep producing probes without stopping for once. So his economy is going to be better, and he can do that because when a Terran wants to do an all-in or a rush, they want to get that information about what the Protoss is doing.
Yeah.
They want to know, is it going to work, 1, and 2, what is my point of insertion for my attack? So by ForGG not scouting, MC has cut some major corners. He's getting very fast 3rd and 4th gas. He had very late gates, very late robo, and he can do that.
Can indeed, and he's going to be able to be very safe against this. I mean, yes, there is a small push coming across the map here comprising of just a small contingent of Marines and Marauders, but again, force fields are going to be able to pretty much deal with this quite easily, and as such, ForGG just looking for some kind of opening.
I think he might kill the rocks.
Yeah. Or go home.
Sometimes they do that. They kill the rocks, which allows you later on to be able to approach from 2 sides. However, it's a bit risky, because if your opponent is powering to 6 gateways very soon, he could come out, crush your army, and therefore crush your hopes of winning the game.
Yeah.
Now, MC is not the only one who's playing greedy. ForGG skipped bunker entirely. He never made a single bunker. So he has a very fast medivac timing. They're already coming out at 8 minutes 30. That's very, very fast.
Yeah, and MC also, he is going for RoboBait as well as Twilight Council at exactly the same time here. So do you have any kind of read on what we're going to be seeing MC transition to here? My prediction initially, because of the Twilight Council placement, was maybe a Dark Shrine, but for now, I'm just going for the Blink.
Yeah, I think he's going to get Blink to protect from drops and then transition to Colossi. The good thing about that is, if you already got Blink and Stalkers, and they're going to counter your Colossi with Vikings, you have something to dart in and out of combat and take them out. So I've never seen exactly this timing, how MC has done it. MC, as usual, does not like forges. So he's getting all these units, Blink and Stalkers, Colossi, but he doesn't add a forge, and that is typical MC.
Yeah, and I mean, with that Forgeless Blade, is it the case of he has to kind of deal with this kind of push?
Yeah, he has to deal with this extra well as opposed to normally.
Exactly.
And it looks like he's doing just that!
Very nice force fields laid down there to be able to separate so much of that bio, ripping the first half to shreds, and the second half sitting in the dust for now.
Great engagement for MC. He killed double the amount of units he lost.
That was very, very well done indeed. Looking at that units lost tab, very, very visually representative there. As for now, we do have that thermal lance on the way for SKMC. Blink going to be going down, almost finishing up in just a little bit. So if any drop potential wants to come along here like this, the Blink's not done just yet though.
But he's going to get it because ForGG didn't look.
ForGG right now in a little bit of a bad situation. He's thrown away so many units here. Look at that units lost tab once again. Just double what we're seeing lost for MC. He only lost one Stalker to that entire drop's worth of units.
Yeah, that's insane. MC has great unit retention here. He did really well to counter the attack, but we have to be a little bit critical for ForGG, who kind of ran in. Perhaps playing on the European ladder too much. He's used to walking in and killing the Protoss. I cannot deny that it happened to me as well. So bad practice for him, maybe.
Maybe indeed, as we have the Ghost Academy on the way.
Yeah, so ForGG is going to do some massive two-basing.
Yeah.
He's not getting a third command center. He didn't get his fourth gas. He's just going to make tons of units on two bases. But it's going to be hard to make it work because MC, recognizing that, isn't getting his own third base. He cut probes at 49, and he's only making units. So MC is giving exactly what ForGG is giving. Brute raw power without any goal of investing in the late game. The perfect weapon against the perfect weapon.
Yeah, and now, I mean, with what ForGG's doing, will he have enough gas to be able to deal with what MC's going to be able to throw at him and hold that?
I don't think so.
As the Colossus is going to be able to shred up a little bit of that bio once again. How many Vikings does he have out right now? None. There's only 2 in production to be able to deal with these Colossus, but so much bio ends up dying off. Admittedly, they kill a lot of the Zealots, but there's still a lot of firepower, and ForGG has to be very, very careful.
And the pylon was already there. MC thinking ahead very well. He has pylons thrown over the map, and his third Colossus is out. He's going to go in for another push. He has Guardian Shield, but he wants to get a good engagement. Force field those units.
Oh, the Ghosts being decimated as well. They've not actually laid down any EMPs just yet. Blinking forward, sniping off the Ghosts. Force fields go down once again to trap a lot of that fire, and the 2 Colossus are being picked up by a few more orders, but it's not enough firepower right now, taking a 20 supply lead here. MCG.
GG.
Oh.